Hi there, wrestling fans. Welcome to another episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic for Thursday, December 8th, 2021, Wednesday, December 8th. It is Wednesday night, and you know what that means. I apologize for that mistake, and my days have been pretty mixed up lately. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, it is Wednesday, December 8th, 2021. Wednesday, AEW Dynamite tonight on TNT, so I'm not going to keep it too long, so myself and everyone else can tune in to TNT, watch AEW Dynamite live from Long Island, New York tonight, the hometown of MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Before I start off this episode, I just want to once again remind everyone, the Salvation Army, the bell ringers are out now. I'll be ringing the bell once again tomorrow. So if you go anywhere, you see a bell ringer out, even if it's just some spare change you have, maybe you can toss it into the kettle. It helps out a lot. Going on now till Christmas Eve. So remember, help out the Salvation Army if you can. Now let's talk a little bit about this past Monday night's WWE Monday Night RAW. And RAW was live from Memphis, Tennessee. The commentators, Jimmy Smith, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton. And we start off with backstage promos from Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and the WWE Champion, Big E. And that's our first match of the evening, the Steel Cage match. Kevin Owens versus Big E. I thought it was an alright match. Big E wins by escaping the cage. And then after, Seth Rollins attacks him. And then after that, Lashley comes in and attacks Kevin Owens. Queen Zelina defeated Nikki Ash. And we get now what is called the RK Tournament, I believe it's called, tournament to determine number one contenders for the Raw Tag Team Championships. RK Bro, Randy Orton, and Riddle. The first round, we see the phenomenal AJ Styles and Omos take on the Street Profits. And unfortunately, it is the Street Profits getting the win to advance via countout. The United States Champion Damian Priest defeated Robert Roode. And now we have Doudrop taking on Bianca Belair. Doudrop, she just walks out of this one, gets herself counted out. And now we have Miz TV with special guest, the Rated R superstar Edge. And Miz challenges Edge to a match at the Day 1 pay-per-view, January 1st. And we will see that match take place at Day 1 Live, New Year's Day. The RK Tournament continues. The Mysterios versus the Alpha Academy. In this one, we see Dominic Mysterio pin Chad Gable for him and his father to advance. And then after the match, Otis slams Riddle in the ring. And I didn't mention it before, but Riddle did this stupid reporter thing where he went in the ring and interviewed AJ Styles, and then he did the same thing with Otis, and then that's when Otis slammed him. And then we go back to Vince McMahon's office, him and Austin Theory. Turns out Austin Theory does not have a match, like Vince said earlier. And he told him to impress him, so then he attacks Finn Balor. Now it is time for the main event of the evening. And before we see highlights of the 365 about Liv Morgan into a video package, and let me just say, this package made me want to see Liv Morgan win the Women's Championship. They did a very good job with it, showing that clip. The Raw Women's Championship is on the line. Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. This was built up during the night. They made you want to root for Liv Morgan and everything. But it was Becky Lynch retaining, holding on to the bottom rope after she rolled up Liv Morgan to get the win and retain the Raw Women's Championship. And I just want to say, it was a pretty good match. I enjoyed the match anyway. And one thing about it is that I would say, even though she did lose the match, but this loss did not hurt Liv Morgan at all, I don't think. It made her look good, and by Becky having to cheat to win, grab the bottom rope, kind of got Liv Morgan as the sympathetic babyface, and I'm sure there will be a rematch sometime down the line between these two. So that was Monday Night Raw from this week. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good show, actually. But the ratings, not so good. Got real low rating this week. And to move on to some news now, unfortunately, found out today about the passing of Blackjack Lanza, WWE Hall of Famer, one half of the Blackjacks with Blackjack Mulligan. He was 86 years old, unfortunately. But some good news that Hacksaw Jim Duggan has announced that he is now cancer-free. A short time ago, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and he has had cancer once before, back when he was in WCW. Glad to hear that Hacksaw is doing well now, and definitely wish him all the best. Like I said, AEW tonight, Long Island, hometown of MJF. We'll definitely be interested to see if he's still going to be the heel or if he's going to get like a babyface pop, since it is his hometown of Long Island. But we'll just have to wait and see tonight. AEW Dynamite on TNT. And just reading this now, Karrion Kross apparently has been booked for a big 2002 pro wrestling event for QPW, March 19th. Super Slam 3. Other names announced are Bret the Hitman Hart, Booker T, Sting, Eric Bischoff, and Jon Moxley. Jack Evans has said today that the Mexican police are extorting him. And last night was Johnny Gargano's goodbye, kind of farewell, I guess, on NXT 2.0. Will be interesting to see what happens, what's next for Johnny Gargano. And some Ring of Honor news, Shane Taylor did a pretty good interview with Busted Open, Dave LaGreca and Bully Ray. I suggest checking that out, the Busted Open. You can listen to the podcast version. Speaking of Ring of Honor, this Saturday night, Final Battle, live on pay-per-view. Definitely recommend checking out that. And hopefully I will have a recap of that pay-per-view sometime this weekend. So stay tuned for that. And also, we got Boxamania High Spots. Facebook.com/highspots. It's all sold out now. And hopefully tomorrow, hope to have a episode of Off Thursday. Hopefully we'll do that. And that is all for this episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Thank you for tuning in today wherever you are. Remember, if you can, help out the Salvation Army. Put some in the kettle. And like 360 Wrestling Podcast on Facebook, Twitter at 360 Wrestling Pod, Instagram 360 Wrestling Podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can email at 360 Wrestling Podcast at gmail.com and listen on Spreaker or anywhere else you can find podcasts. Also, the new 360 Wrestling Podcast YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, comment, click the bell, all that stuff that people on YouTube say. Also, if you want to support 360 Wrestling Podcast, it doesn't have to be much, but if you can help out, it'll definitely help the podcast. Anchor.fm/360-wrestling-podcast 360. I always put it in the description. Like I said, it doesn't have to be much. Anything you can do. It'll definitely help 360 Wrestling Podcast get bigger and better. Hope to be back real soon with a new episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic off Thursday, and maybe Unleashed will be back soon. Until then, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.